When you think about the Bengals, it's been upsetting for them. Joe Burrow's injury might still be having an effect on his play, and I shouldn't say might because it is. He is very limited with the calf injury. They knew that since he lined up in the shotgun or pistol formation on all but one of its offensive plays, and every one of his 30 pass attempts came from inside the pocket. The Bengals have scored 49 points this season, the fewest among teams to play 4 games, and their fewest through 4 games since 2002. Jamar Chase, very direct with the media after the game.
In 4 games this season, do you feel like you've had less time to get open and create space for yourself?
Nah, I'm open. I'm always open. Excuse my profanity. I'm sorry.
He's right.
He ain't, hey, no lies are told. He is always open. And I met him when he was 15 years old, and he was open then. And then when he got to LSU, he was even more open. Right. And then you got to the league, and in preseason, they were like, oh, he can't get open. And guess what happened? He got open then, too. But when you look at what this team is dealing with, it's very difficult to have a quarterback as hampered as Joe Burrow is. I don't think people pay attention to how much his mobility helps him be the quarterback we've seen throughout his first 3 seasons in Cincinnati. When you watch this game, it was like they smelled blood in the water and they were a pack or a school of sharks. They continued to swarm Joe Burrow. He couldn't get the football out of his hands fast enough. And yes, Jamar Chase is open, but with that offensive line and Joe Burrow's lack of mobility, there is no time to get it to Jamar Chase.
If I just asked you, hey, it's 3rd down, who do you think the Bengals should try to throw the football to more often than not?
1.
Okay, Jamar Chase. So we talked about this offense because of the injury that you're talking about. They have to be very catch and throw. And they get into 2nd and 6 and then 3rd and 3 and 4. They're the 25th ranked 3rd down offense in football. Now, it's not because they're in 3rd and long all the time. They're often in 3rd and 4 and 6, okay? So Jamar, through 4 games, has had on 3rd down the ball thrown to him 12 times. He's caught 8 of them. All 8 have gone for first downs. So what that tells me is not only are they not throwing Jamar the ball enough, they're not throwing it to him enough on 3rd
Here's
downs.
the other thing. If Puka Nacua can get those sorts of attempts, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase should have just as many.
And it's a little bit of Joe. It is. I think he's got to hang on Jamar just a little bit more. It's also incumbent upon that coaching staff to find different ways. We just called Monday Night Football. They moved Jamar all over the place on
That's
those
why
downs.
this was shocking to me because I felt like we saw him against the Rams get something going, getting a better rhythm with Jamar. They really weren't singling him out as much as you talked about and making him do a little bit more. I think when it comes to hanging on Jamar, too, you got to think Burrow's trying to hang in as long as he can, thinking the last thing he wants to do is get taken down.
The other piece of this, too, is T. Higgins is not playing at as high of a level as we've seen him throughout years.
No one is. The only person making plays on 3rd down is Jamar.
It's going to be interesting to follow these Bengals. I still think they've got the capabilities to be a really good team and contending team in the playoffs.